I have arrived. Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva. I have arrived.
Alexa, cut it off. It's got my head spinning.
Hey, Survivor Nation. I'm your girl, Survivor Speaks. Welcome to my channel. Come on a ride with me through these streets so we can catch up on the good things and all the mess going on. It's going to be a smooth ride, so buckle up, keep it diva, and let's talk our ish. Let's go. This video is being shown to you under the Fair Use Copyright Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. This content is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. Now let's get to it. Hey, Survivor Nation. Today we will be discussing Christian Toby Obumseli and the new developments of his case. I'm doing this video for two reasons. The first is that I want people to remember Christian Toby Obumseli, the human being whose life matters. Secondly, I want to shed light on domestic violence and how it affects men just as well as women. Men don't often speak up because they don't like to be looked at as if they are weak. But in this story, Christian showed great strength in the lives of a family that did not like him and had disparaging things to say about him in life and after his brutal unaliving by their OnlyFans model daughter. I purposely did not mention her by name yet because many people refer to Christian as the boyfriend of the OnlyFans model, but he has a name. His name is Christian Toby Obumseli. If Spin the Narrative was a family, it would be the Clenneys. I will talk about that later on because there is some new information that unfolded last week about this case. But not too much on that, though. This is more about Christian, the man. But we are going to definitely shed light on the OnlyFans girl and her parents because they need to be kept front and center for what they allegedly attempted to pull off in order to continue to paint the narrative that their daughter is innocent and was defending herself, and Christian was an abuser. That could be further from the truth. Remember his name. Say his name. His name is Christian Toby Obumseli. Christian was affectionately known to his loved ones as Toby, so for the rest of the video, we'll just refer to him as Toby, since this video is being made for his loved ones and the public that grew to love him after his tragic demise. I will be reading information provided by his loved ones from his obituary so we can hear what his family thought of him. So, Christian Toby Obumseli was born on April 12th of 1994 in Dallas, Texas. From the moment he was born, Toby's radiant personality was on full display. It's easy to love babies, but it seemed that the older Toby grew, the more people loved him. His charismatic smile was able to light up even the darkest of rooms, and his joyful attitude could bring hope to the grimmest of situations. As a child, Toby enjoyed the privileges that came with being the youngest child in a big family. There was always someone there to support, counsel, or get him out of trouble. You could always count on Toby to be where the fun was. This remained true almost all his life. While attending Plano East Senior High School, Toby found the passion for football. His exceptional skills as the middle linebacker position earned him a football scholarship to Abilene Christian University. Toby later transferred to Texas Tech University, where he studied engineering. Even in his short life, it was evident that Toby was a free spirit with larger than life dreams. His inquisitive nature led him to a love for traveling. His fun loving attitude allowed him to be comfortable in almost any atmosphere. Toby was known for his caring and giving nature, which made people want to be around him as often as possible. But sadly, on April 3rd of 2022, Toby's dreams and life was brutally cut short by an entitled OnlyFans model. Do you hear how that sounds when you take someone's name away? This girl was obsessed with herself, possessive, and extremely toxic. This would not be the first time this girl abused Toby. 2 weeks prior to unaliving him, she slashed him in his face 2 times, and he had to seek medical treatment for the wounds he sustained. Thank goodness Toby was smart enough to start secretly recording the unhinged rants and abuse he suffered while living with his unaliver. Those recordings and camera footage uh, obtained by the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office would prove to be golden and beneficial to this case. What the police thought was self-defense, based on what the unaliver reported, was a big fat lie. So this is Courtney Clenney, who went by the name of Courtney Taylor on Instagram and her OnlyFans. Allegedly, Courtney made $2 million a year from OnlyFans content. She unalived her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, on April 3rd of 2022 and claimed it was self-defense. Courtney was released from jail, and 2 weeks after her release, she told her parents that she was going to walk her dog. She saw an 18-year-old young man walking down the street and asked him to walk her home, and he agreed. As they were walking, Courtney allegedly made advances at this young man, and he denied her advances. Courtney then attempted to kiss the young man, and she reeked of alcohol, according to the young man's father. He was so bothered by the exchange that he texted his dad to come and assist him because he did not know what to do. And Courtney's aggression was increasing. She allegedly told the young man if he did not give her a kiss, she was going to burn his house down. The young man's father appeared and stepped in between them, and Courtney allegedly began to assault the young man's father by slapping him in his face. The police were called, and at the time, the neighbor had no idea who she was, but he did recognize that she was intoxicated. And because of this, he decided not to press charges. In a recent interview, he stated had he known who she was, he would have actually pressed charges against her. I don't know why who she is matters. Um, just from the exchange, he should have did what he had to do because it's apparent that this girl has issues with her hands and with being aggressive towards people. So Toby was not the first person to experience this. So then her parents allegedly showed up on the scene, and the mother said that Courtney is drunk. However, she has issues and should not have been drinking due to how the alcohol affects her. In my humble opinion, having her accept any accountability for any of her actions is part of the problem. On the day she unalived Toby, she made two calls to her mother before contacting anyone to get help for him as he laid on the floor, you know, um, withering away. I'll put it like that. So, and you can hear him say in that video that he is bleeding out while pleading for help. The call is pretty disturbing. You can find the call on many outlets here on YouTube, or if you go to NBC6 News in South Florida, they have all the details on their website surrounding this case as well. And yeah, so I do believe that this young lady is right where she needs to be. She does not need to be on the street anymore. And it's just my humble opinion that, where she is should be her new home for the rest of her life. But there is a twist in this story that came about last week. Courtney had a scheduled court date. However, when she got to court, she was charged with a different charge. So I'm going to play a video later on, and then you will hear what happened and why she received a new charge last week. Stand by.
Her boyfriend are now behind bars in Texas. Police say that Courtney Clenney fatally stabbed her boyfriend in 2022 inside their Miami condo.
And now the parents are facing charges in connection to that tragedy. NBC6's Christian Colon joins us live from the courthouse in Miami, where Courtney herself just appeared in court. And Christian, boy, there are so many different parts happening right here in this case.
Yeah, there is. Police now say here in Miami that after the murder, people went into that apartment to take the victim's personal belongings, including his laptop.
Courtney Clenney will soon be joined by her parents, Kim and Deborah, in jail. All three now defendants in connection to the murder case of Christian Obumseli.
The parents, both the mom and the dad, as well as Ms. Courtney Clenney, were involved in trying to obstruct justice and tamper with evidence by deleting or removing certain evidence that we believe is going to be very incriminating in this case against her.
Larry Hanfield represents the victim who was stabbed to death by Courtney. The online model charged with second-degree murder claimed self-defense. In a major twist, 2 years after the murder, Courtney and her parents charged as principals of one another, along with other uncharged individuals, for committing unauthorized access to the victim's computer. Courtney in court for the new charge.
All right, ma'am, so you're charged with computer offenses. Your attorney, Mr. Prieto, is present.
Records show police found a group chat where Clenney's parents, along with their attorneys, discussed potential laptop passwords. Eventually, her dad got in. One attorney warned in the chat they shouldn't access the files, but under Florida law, a crime was already committed.
In an effort to remove or delete evidence that clearly we believe is incriminating evidence, and it goes to the cover-up, which my family has always believed that Mr. Obumseli was the victim in this case. This was never self-defense.
In response, Clenney's attorneys say they are extremely surprised and concerned, adding this could be an example of prosecutorial overreach and misconduct. It's unclear what police will find in the laptop.
And another interesting twist here is that Courtney's arrest warrant says that her criminal defense attorney acted with criminal intent because he delivered the laptop to a tech consultant. However, he has not been criminally charged. As for the parents, last check, they are in Texas, and we are waiting for them to be extradited here to Miami-Dade. As for Courtney, she has a hearing tomorrow morning. We're in Miami. Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Meet Courtney's parents, Kim and Deborah Clenney. It is important to remember that Courtney started transferring money out of 3 Bank of America accounts on April 12th, 2022, just 9 days after the unaliving of Toby. The amounts were reported to be $121,000, $1,013,000, and $50,000. This information was reported during her father's testimony at a previous bail hearing. According to her father, Kim, the reason for the wire transfers was for safeguarding because Courtney was a mess due to trauma and heavy drinking. Courtney was arrested in Hawaii, where she allegedly checked into rehab. It is important to note that many of Toby's personal belongings were taken after his unaliving and not by his family, who are his next of kin and have control of his estate. Courtney's parents were arrested in Texas last week. I will play a clip from NBC6 News South Florida. They have all the details and are doing a fabulous job covering this case. I will then be ending this episode of Survivor Speaks with a clip obtained from the TMZ website. It is being used under the Fair Use Act to educate and help with the commentary during this video. You can also head over to TMZ Investigate to watch Killer OnlyFans model Deadly Love Story. It aired on February 12th of 2024 and is quite eye-opening. Also, there is a clip of an interview of Clenney's parents obtained from TMZ by way of the Miami Emerald. I must say, the mother has some pretty interesting, colorful, and disturbing views. I'll just let you hear those views directly from her. She acts as if the color roles were reversed. There would be no case, just absurd. It doesn't matter race or color. No one deserves to be alive at the hands of another. Clenney was previously detained in another state for abusing Toby and admitting to police that she threw something at Toby's head and that she is always the one who jumps on Toby. So you can look that video up as well. It just seems that she never had to take accountability for most of her actions. It's sad that Toby didn't get out before paying the price of her alleged abuse with his life. There are photos of him having to get stitches in his face from a previous assault and text messages of Courtney mocking him as he tried to tell her what was happening at the ER. But like I said in the beginning, most men don't report abuse because it makes them look weak. I will also say to any female that watches this video, please refrain from putting your hands on a man because you never know how they will react. And if you have a parent like Deborah Clenney, she will do all that she can to twist the narrative in favor of her daughter. I'm Survivor Speaks and I am signing off. Stay tuned for the remaining clips. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button for my next video upload. Peace.
Christian Obumseli's killing was the last straw in a relationship laced with anger, brutality, and unrelenting violence. now add race to the mix. Prosecutors want to introduce evidence of Courtney calling Christian a racial epithet.
My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a Yes, thank you. Coming from thank you.
She told me why she called him that. Because she wanted him to leave, and she said no self-respecting black man would stick around after being called that name. So she thought that was a way to get him to leave.
Obviously didn't work.
She liked him partly because he was black. I believe if Courtney were black, or if Christian were white, we would not be here.
Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva. I have arrived. Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva.
Alexa, cut it off. It's got my head spinning.